Rome was growing, but it needed a ruler who could push its limits beyond mere survival. That leader was Tarquinius Priscus, a king whose ambition, vision, and military strength transformed Rome into a rising power. Tarquinius Priscus was unlike any king before him. He was not Roman by birth. He was an Etruscan, a man from a powerful civilization to the north. Born as Lucumo, he was the son of a wealthy Greek merchant who had settled in the Etruscan city of Tarquinia. Though he had fortune and status, he longed for more. The rigid aristocracy of Tarquinia denied him the influence he sought, so he turned his eyes to Rome, a city still young and full of potential. Alongside his wife Tanaquil, a woman of intelligence and ambition, Lucumo left Tarquinia and traveled to Rome. As they neared the city, legend says an eagle swooped down, snatched his cap, and placed it back on his head. Tanaquil, skilled in prophecy, took this as a divine omen. Lucumo was destined for greatness. Upon reaching Rome, he changed his name to Tarquinius Priscus and set out to claim power. Tarquinius was a master of persuasion. He gained favor with King Ancus Marcius, impressing him with his wealth, charisma, and military expertise. The king welcomed him as an advisor and trusted him deeply. Over time, Tarquinius became one of the most powerful men in Rome. When Ancus Marcius died, his sons expected to inherit the throne. But Tarquinius had other plans. He convinced the Senate and people that he was the best choice, highlighting his experience and vision for Rome. The people, inspired by his boldness, elected him king, and the sons of Ancus Marcius, robbed of their inheritance, were forced into exile. Now, with the crown on his head, Tarquinius Priscus was ready to reshape Rome. Tarquinius was ambitious, strategic, and fearless. He was not a man content with maintaining Rome's status quo. He wanted to expand it, to strengthen it, and to leave behind a legacy no king before him had dared to dream of. He understood that Rome's survival depended on its military. He doubled the cavalry and expanded the infantry, creating a powerful army ready for conquest. He saw Rome's potential as a grand city, not just a collection of settlements. His reign was filled with construction projects that laid the foundation for Rome's future greatness. He was a master of diplomacy, using alliances, persuasion, and cunning to outmaneuver his rivals. But not everyone welcomed his changes. Tarquinius faced resistance from the old Roman aristocracy, who saw him as an outsider. Many senators were uneasy with an Etruscan on the throne. They feared his growing influence and despised his ambitious reforms. Even more pressing were the external threats. Rome's neighbors, including the Sabines, Latins, and Etruscans, saw the city's rapid expansion as a direct challenge to their power. War was inevitable, and Tarquinius had to prove himself on the battlefield. His reign was marked by military campaigns that expanded Rome's dominance. The Sabines, longtime rivals of Rome, sought to challenge Tarquinius's rule. The Sabines had territories to the northeast, and under Tarquinius, Rome launched a coordinated attack using well-trained legions. His strategy involved overwhelming the Sabine forces with superior numbers and tactics, eventually leading to a decisive victory that solidified Roman control and brought the Sabines into an alliance. Tarquinius then turned his focus to the Latins, who were powerful neighbors to the south. The Latins, while previously allied with Rome, began to resist Roman expansion, and Tarquinius responded by deploying a series of lightning raids on their cities, forcing them into submission. His military strategy involved using swift, surprise attacks and taking advantage of Roman fortifications, which the Latins lacked. His victories brought several Latin towns under Roman control, establishing dominance over the region of Latium. Finally, despite his Etruscan origins, Tarquinius had to face the Etruscans, who viewed Rome's rise as a threat. His strategy against the Etruscan city-states was based on a combination of siege warfare and open-field battles. Tarquinius used Rome's growing strength and alliances with smaller cities to form coalitions, isolating and defeating key Etruscan cities one by one. These campaigns were marked by tactical ingenuity, including the use of Roman legions in well-organized formations, while also relying on the city's fortifications to withstand any Etruscan counterattacks. His victories over the Sabines, Latins, and Etruscans not only expanded Roman territory, but also earned him immense respect as a military strategist, solidifying Rome's control over Latium and paving the way for its dominance in Italy. Beyond war, Tarquinius Priscus was a visionary builder. He knew that Rome's power could not rest solely on military strength. It needed infrastructure, culture, and grandeur. His contributions included the Circus Maximus, Rome's first and grandest arena. Tarquinius envisioned a space where the Roman people could come together, strengthening their identity and loyalty to the city. The Circus Maximus became a symbol of Roman unity and entertainment. He also built the Cloaca Maxima, one of the earliest sewage systems in history, designed to drain Rome's marshlands and make the city more livable. This allowed Rome to grow into a cleaner, healthier urban center. He initiated the transformation of the Roman Forum, turning what was once a swampy valley into a bustling center of trade, law, and governance. One of his most ambitious projects was the Temple of Jupiter on the Capitoline Hill, a massive structure meant to glorify the gods and demonstrate Rome's rising power. Each of these projects not only improved Rome's infrastructure, but also strengthened its economy and centralized power. Tarquinius understood that a great city needed great institutions. He ruled with a blend of military strength, diplomacy, and political cunning. He expanded the Senate, increasing the number of senators to ensure greater loyalty to the throne while reducing the influence of his old rivals. He used religion as a tool, promoting Roman religious traditions to reinforce the idea that his rule was favored by the gods. He rewarded loyalty, granting positions of power to those who supported him while isolating or removing those who opposed him. But his success also made him enemies. His rule was cut short by a brutal assassination. The sons of Ancus Marcius, still bitter over losing the throne, conspired against him. They hired assassins to strike him down, believing that his death would restore their family's power. The attack was sudden and vicious. Tarquinius Priscus was mortally wounded, but his wife Tanaquil was not ready to let his legacy fade. She quickly took control of the situation, convincing the Roman people that the king was still alive while she secured the throne for their chosen successor, Servius Tullius.